Hi guys, it's Brittany. So today's gonna be a dedication video in memory of River Phoenix. And here are the movies that he came out in: Stand By Me, The Mosquito Coast, A Night in the Life of Jimmy Reardon, Little Nikita, Running on Empty, Indiana Jones and Last Crusade, I Love You to Death, My Own Private Idaho, Silent Ton, and The Thing Called Love. And here are some facts on River Phoenix. One was a vegetarian that I did not know. Two, he disliked flying and traveled everywhere by car or train. Three, Phoenix, who'd been playing the guitar since childhood, had his own band with his sister Rain Phoenix called Aquila's Attic. I hope I said that right. Four, accepted his role in the thing called love in effort to both show off his musical abilities. He sang, played his own guitar, and wrote his character songs, and make the transition from playing youth to adult roles. I think that's wow, very quite interesting about that. Five, he had a very close bond with Harrison Ford. Oh, I didn't know that, but I'm pretty sure they were close. Six, was best friends with uh, Keanu Reeves, and I hope I said his name right. And I'm sorry if I didn't. I'm sorry. Um, I hope so. Seven, the song Transcending on the Red Hot Chili Peppers album One Hot Minute is dedicated to River Phoenix. 8. His parents named him after the river of the life of Herman Hesses? No, I think, or Hesses? I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Of Herman Hesse's or Hesse's classic spiritual novel Siddhartha, and Jude, his middle name after the Beatles song Hey Jude. 9. James Cameron has admitted that when he first started thinking about Titanic in the early 90s, he favored River for the lead. By the time the film was made, Leonardo DiCaprio was old enough to take the role. So, at some point, James Cameron, I think, wanted River Phoenix to have the role of Jack Dawson. But of course, I think as time went on, um, yeah, he did not take the role. But then of course, Leo did. 10. Harrison Ford personally recommended him for the part of young Indy in Indiana Jones and Last Crusade after working with him on the Mosquito Coast. Ford stated that all the young actors who were working at the time, River was the one who looked most like himself when he was that age. So I remember hearing something about that. I think when I was watching behind the scenes of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, I remember Harrison Ford saying about that, which I think that's quite interesting. But then again, I think he did a good job playing the part of young Indiana Jones. And now the thing is, what I do in my dedication videos to those who passed away, not only do I mention what they did in their career, what they're known for, and certain facts about them, like fun facts about them, whatever it may be, like how I just did. But then by the end of the video, I also mention um, a story. Like I'll mention like a story of a memory of of that particular person that I'm doing the dedication video for. And so yeah, I'm gonna do that right now because I do have a story to share, and that is that when I was quite little, like very young, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, I don't know, I can't remember exactly what age, but I remember maybe around maybe 5 or 6 around there, and that around there is that I remember watching only at least one of his movies at least, and that was Indiana Jones and Last Crusade. Um, and yeah, I mean, now the thing is, I did not know who he was when I was little, but the thing is, I love that movie, and even just seeing him um, playing like the young Indiana Jones, um, yeah, I mean, like I said, he really did a good job on that. But then, of course, yeah, that was like the only movie of his that I did grow up watching was probably that, and only, and even though he's seen pretty much throughout just the beginning of the movie, uh, that's like the only one I did grow up watching, and but as I got older, I have to say pretty much when I was a teenager, I did happen to watch other movies of his, like I would have to say I Love You to Death. Now, in case if you have or haven't seen that, that is a good one, and that is also funny too. And I have to say he did really good um, in that role. Um, yeah, that was a good movie, and he did a good job playing his character in that movie as well. And yeah, let's just say I happen to watch other movies of his as well. Even Stand By Me, that one, I think he did a really good job with that. But yeah, so far I can't really remember all of it, but I do remember watching at least maybe a few, maybe at least some of his movies. There are some I still haven't seen, which I plan to watch. But I would just say this though, that even for those movies I have seen, and even including hearing even some of the songs that he's saying, which I'm not sure if you even know that, but yeah, there is this song he's saying, um, which is called "Don't Cry." Now, if you have heard of that song, then you know that song that I'm talking about, and yeah, I think he did real good with that song. Like he sings really good. So yeah, that I think that's a really good song he did. Um, I'm not sure. I can't remember if I have heard any other songs he sang or not, but I am planning to listen to those that I haven't even listened to. But I will say this though, that yeah, as far as I can see with the movies I have seen, watching of his, is that he was, a really good actor. And as far as I can see, that if he was still alive, I believe to this day, he would have came out in really great movies, like in any genre, and could have played any role that I know he would probably really pull off, you know, of any genre of movies, And yeah, I can tell he was doing, quite well, in his career. And yeah, I think things would have gotten, you know, really good. And I think things would have gotten better in his acting career. But yeah, the thing is I want to say too is that even for those movies that I have seen, which, yeah, I enjoy watching his performances. And of course, I still enjoy watching even that performance of his, even as young Indiana Jones in the third one of Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. He did a good job on that. I still enjoy watching that, even though it's just the beginning of the movie. And even even with the movie I Love You to Death, I enjoy watching his performance of that character because he did such a good job on that. And as I said, that for those movies that I have seen, I enjoyed watching it, and I also enjoy watching his performances because it's not only is it entertaining, but it's also you can tell that he was a very talented actor who could have done a lot more in his career, and that his career would have taken off if he was still alive. And the one thing I also want to say is that, yeah, even for those movies I've seen and enjoying those performances that I still like to watch, I have to say that not only do I think that he was a really great actor, um, and who could have been in so many great movies by now if he was still alive, but somehow in a way I feel like I somehow in a way to me personally that he feels like a brother to me, a brother I wish I could have met, a brother I wish that I know I would have loved to have met and gotten to know him. But yeah, that's more on a personal note. But um, I mean that I do, and with him, you know, um, died having the way he did, which I don't want to mention how, because it's just quite sad, and I don't, of course, I don't want to get into that, talking about that. But yeah, that is something I do want to say, and yeah, I'll just say this, that I will just say I will always remember that. Let's just say I would always remember and look back on how that I did grow up at least watching one of his movies, and how that even when I got older that I watched a bit more, and how not only seeing how he was a really great actor, but how even to me that I was starting to feel, you know, like I was starting to feel like in a way that to me personally that yeah, he does feel like a brother I wish I could have met, and a brother I know I would have loved to have met and gotten to know too, of who he is, or of who he was. Geez, kind of hard saying it like that, of was, like, past tense. Um, yeah, I know that's more on a personal note, but I just thought I would share that with you. And so that's my story and my memory of River Phoenix, and I will, let's say, I will continue to watch his movies that I have yet to watch, and I can't wait for that. Um, and for those of you who probably are fans and who probably even have your own personal stories and um, of your own, share it with me. Leave a comment below, like which movies of River Phoenix is your favorite. Now, mine so far is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, but then again, I know For those movies that I have yet to watch, who knows? Some of those just might be my favorite too. Um, so yeah. So yeah, leave a comment below on which movies of his are your favorite, and yeah, share your stories on if you grew up watching any of his movies or of his music in any way. Leave a comment below. I would like to hear that. But yes, I'm gonna go. I usually don't say that, but yes. Okay, so that's all for today. Um, Rest in peace, River. Um, that's all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.